Hints to go guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Create a Character, the series where you become the final boss. In this episode, I'm gonna kind of skip the talking, basically as far as introductions go, and kind of get to the meat and potatoes of this, which is essentially my Deku full cow training I invented. This is based on basically his training montage, where, as you know, the beach basically episode where All Might had him moving garbage. He gave him a few months, and he went in and did that shit like a fucking boss. Now, where I live, I don't have access to a beach. I wish I did. Otherwise, I would love to basically run in the sand and basically have that resistance and just also enjoy the sun and whatnot. But what have you. So what I essentially did was a not an interval but a continuous circuit. So what is essentially like my last video, like beginner's got to being plus ultra was more plyometric and stretching, what have you, to kind of warm up. This is also a warm up, but I'm using it more intensely. So this is a 15 to 20 minute session that I had before I did like my actual exercise. But boy, does it really get your fucking your heart rate up, because it gets plenty of blood flow, really get your body loosened up. Honestly, if you were to do it by itself, it could be I would consider it just a full out exercise. Honestly, I do this on a day when maybe I don't have enough time, I don't have a couple hours, but I did it anyway just because I had the time to. But I want to show it off and do a little commentary behind it because I just want to explain it. So hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get to it. So basically, the idea of this was I set a timer for 15 minutes, and the area that I have in my local gym is big enough to where I would run back and forth, essentially 5 times. Back and forth is 1, back and forth 2, back and forth 3. After those 5 basically ladders, I would use a moderate dumbbell weight. I just chose dumbbells for particular, but honestly, excuse me, sorry about that, very unprofessional. You can use a bar, plate, basically any sort of, you can even use resistance bands actually. And this is actually a variation. I got this idea from watching wrestling training. I'm a big fan of New Japan, big fan of wrestling in general, and I'll most likely end up doing a workout video based around that. But I got the idea basically because wrestlers, they have to be strong enough to essentially throw a mofo out of the ring or lift them over their head. Your king, your Armicas, Alex's, what have you, but also be fast enough to basically you have to have a good balance between muscle and speed. And essentially this idea is continuous jogging and switching between that and a small amount of muscle training. So if I had to say cardio wise and muscle resistance, it'd be like 70-30 this particular one. And the next thing I do, when I ever do another one of these, and I'll show off a different variation of it. But you gotta have the whole Rock Lee mentality. The idea is to not stop. That's why it's not a super fast jog, but also just kind of in the middle, because by the end of it you're gonna be just wiped. When you are going between it, basically your dumbbell choice is gonna be varying up to you. I used to have this machine called a rack. I don't know if they make it anymore, but it's a really good device. It was like a walker type thing, but it folded and it would turn into like a roller where you could do abs. Also a stand where you could do dips and push-ups, what have you. And then the videos were really useful because it had this idea of basically, say if you're doing arms, then if you burn out arms, that doesn't mean you rest your whole body. You just work a different part and bring resistance and blood flow to that area, which is essentially interval cardiovascular training for your muscles. Not all cardio is basically running. For me, that's kind of boring, so I had to find or create things that basically amuse me, entertain me, basically. Give me enough, like, man, I just hate running on the treadmill, so let's do something else. So when I switch from arms, like curls or hammer curls, I would go into basically the push-up position there. I get a good burn, and then I'd switch out and go back to running. If I can't complete, and the idea is to basically do the muscle portion for the entire minute before going back to the 5 basically ladders. And like I said, if you cannot get it done, then it's the idea is to switch to a different body part. By the end of it, I'm doing legs and box squats with the dumbbells to basically save my arms, because I'm already gassed by the end of the 15 or 20 minutes from just the jogging, and on top of that, my arms are screaming, my back is tired. So basically, it's gonna force you to use every single part of your body, because you're not gonna be able to do curls for the entire 15 minutes, even if you really wanted to. And honestly, it's a good way to basically make you think of something on the fly, because I think the best way to come up with new exercises is not only watch other people and read up on it, but also just kind of make things up on your own and try them out, and if they work, then continue to use them. I mean, that's the mentality. And then if not, I'm just kind of checking the audio here, make sure it's not spiking too bad. But if things don't work out for you, then basically you just don't try it anymore. And so, audio's fine. Yeah, and that's really, how I created a lot of my exercises. It's just trying new things and modify them as thus. The TV shows that I watch and the people I read up on have a lot to do with that. By this point, I'm just freaking getting to that gas point of basically I need to do something. So I haven't really burned out my legs enough, but I got just enough strength to kind of carry on with that, and to go back basically into it. So like I said, this is a really good overall full cal, so I'm gonna stick to that, and my Deku jacket will show. Big fan of that, and I had to wear it. So really the rest of this video is gonna be just the continuation of this interval. If you like it, I'd recommend it. You don't necessarily have to go for 15 minutes. Just start with a stationary number that's good for you, maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But the idea is to not stop the entire time. That's why the pace is the way it is. You want to keep the pace enough to where you can complete it. That's the mentality I have, or have changed over the years. It's like you burn yourself out, and you rest quickly. Well, you don't always get the best results from resting quickly and then going back. Sometimes you want to rest a bit longer, but when you rest longer, when you go back to it, you put out more work because you had the longer rest. And you also have the ability to complete reps or whatever you're doing a lot safer and a lot basically better form you keep. When you're tired, you tend to lose, or you tend to cheat some of the things you would normally do if you weren't tired. So it's important basically to focus on completing everything. So once you work up to a certain level, you'll be able to extend the time to where you basically, it gives itself more of a challenge. So definitely don't worry about stopping for water like I did. Like there, I'm switching to obliques to kind of basically take some of the load off, but never stop is the idea of this. So I don't really have much else to say besides I hope you guys enjoy the rest of it. This definitely is a bitch to do, but it really covers that basis of cardio and muscular training, or get that good muscular atrophy. So if you have any questions, just feel free to leave them in the comments, or ideas for maybe another video. I'm happy to try anything. Believe me, I love new workout ideas, and if you have anything, I'd love to hear them. Or any ideas for other videos or other characters maybe I should base it off of. I guess I'm kind of jack-splaining it here, but I look up to him, so I'm kind of humbled if someone were to come to me with that type of thing. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna chime out for now. take care, and guess I'll see you next time. Peace.
Rising King, the Raisin Man.